Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the 7th edition of Random Ramblings with Randomonium. I am your host, Randomonium. Let me start off by saying, you guys look fantastic today. Except for you, Dyslexia. I'm just joking. I know Dyslexia doesn't watch this show. He's far too busy rocking himself back and forth, crying into his Cavaliers jersey right now. Don't worry, buddy. Cleveland will eventually win a championship in something. Not saying it's going to be in your lifetime, but eventually they will win a championship in something. Anyway, let's get into the matchup. So on our team, we've got Renekton in top lane. We've got Vi in the jungle, played by me. And mid lane, we've got Ziggs. And our bot lane is going to be Tristana as ADC and Leona as support. And we're going up against a Yasuo top lane, Jarvan in the jungle, Morgana mid. We've got Kalista as their ADC and Lulu as their support. So initially we were not planning on playing Vi and Tristana. That was not the intent when we went into the draft phase of the game. But they picked up Morgana, Lulu, Tristana pretty much back to back in that draft. And we realized pretty much immediately that their whole team comp revolves around Kalista. So we pick up the Vi so that we have somebody who can lock her down, point and click lockdown, so she can't hop away in the mid to late game, so we can just focus fire her. And we pick up the Tristana so that we can shut down the Kalista early game, and then also have that superior range throughout the game. So that's kind of the importance of, in Champ Select, is you don't want to be too narrow-minded in your champ select. You want to be able to adapt your play depending on what the other team chooses. But you can see now we've got Ziggs in the mid lane, and Ziggs is one of the best siege mid laners in the game. And we've got Tristana in bot lane, and she's one of the best ADCs at taking towers. So instead of having a team fight comp like we usually do, we've got this sieging, tower-destroying kind of team, and we kind of round it out with a strong laner who can split push like Renekton. We've got Vi, who's great at locking down a single target, so if they try to rotate, we can lock down a single target and kill them. And then we just got, a ton of CC in Leona's support. So what you're going to see in this game is there's not going to be any team fighting. We're going to win this game without doing a single 5v5 team fight. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to rotate a lot, and we're going to take objectives a lot. And it's just that objective control and that constant rotation and split pushing that is going to allow us to win the game. Anyway, for this matchup, this is kind of an interesting matchup with Renekton versus Yasuo. This matchup really hinges on Yasuo's Whirlwind. If Renekton is able to dodge this Whirlwind, he can then kind of all-in Yasuo, and Yasuo doesn't really have a way to escape him. But if Renekton tries to go in when Yasuo has his Whirlwind up, then Yasuo can just knock him up and get away from him. So I like this timing for the ward. You can see the bot lane wards at almost the exact same time. So they're looking at me as the jungler. And I just hit level 3. I'm about to clear out my 5th camp in the jungle. So Jarvan's probably about the same spot as me. So we're both looking to gank at this point. This is when I'm going to look to gank and Jarvan's going to look to gank. So that's why we ward at this time. You can see right now, I'm going to come up and I'm going to try and gank mid. But there's definitely a little bit of communication. Ziggs is a little bit too far back. I come in, I get my smite off, and I get, a little bit of damage off, but she's able to back off. But you can see that even though she uses her black shield, it doesn't actually reduce any of my damage because it's all physical. So she kind of wastes her mana. She's got like no mana now. So just a little harass, and then I get back to farming again. So we had a little bit of a trade here in the bottom lane, so I'm going to back up a little bit. Alright. So you can see, Leona gets in on Kalista here. So this is great. We got the stun. Tristana's already starting to go to work on her, and Lulu's way far out of position because we're trading on the AD carry, and they're trying to trade on Leona. So that's going to go well for us. So you see, we jump forward, almost kill her. Almost kill her. She has to flash to get out, and this is smart by Tristana not to try and engage on this, not to try and go for this kill, because a slow and a rend here is going to probably kill Tristana, especially if she takes a tower shot. So that flash is a more than fair trade at this point. So Lulu tries to go in and get Tristana, but you know, we're able to survive. So this is good. That was a very good trade to start out the game. Excuse me. Yep, so top lane, very good engaged by Renekton. Does a slice and dash forward. He's going to get the stun, get some damage on him, and then backs out again before he's able to respond. Jarvan's right there, so he's going to come in and try and get this gank off. And that's a perfectly timed flash by Renekton. Because if Jarvan lands his flag and drag, then Renekton's dead. So that's a great flash by Renekton to avoid getting the kill. So we don't have any vision on Jarvan right now. So about right now, he could show up mid lane if he wanted to. So I tell Ziggs to ward mid lane. But he shows himself top lane again. He's still going to try and get this kill in the top lane. But Renekton's doing a very good job using his slice and dice to stay out of harm's way. So since I see Jarvan camping top lane, I'm going to come up into blue side jungle. I'm going to at least get a ward down. I would like to counter jungle at this point, but my back lane is backed right now, and I can't really try and take these jungle camps because their bot lane, if they have a ward there or something, they could rotate on me, and I would have no backup. So I just get the ward down, and I back out, and then get back into farming. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to just pause it right here so we can look at the status of the game. Ziggs is backed. Bot lane is pushed in all the way. Renekton's pushing top lane. So if you're the opposing jungler, where are you going to gank? The obvious answer is you're going to go top lane, right? Because there's no way that he's going to be able to gank bot lane because it's already pushed in. Can't gank mid lane because the guy is backed. So he's obviously going to go top lane to try and gank. Just like I am obviously going to try and go bot lane to gank. So Renekton needs to realize this, back off, get a ward down. He's got his trinket up. There's no reason why he needs to play this aggressive far forward without a ward up. We'll see how that impacts the game a little bit. So they do the right thing, right? So they know that they're pushed up. They know a gank is very possible. So look at that. They've got a ward in Tribush and they've got a ward here. So they're more than ready for me when I come to gank. But our top laner's not. So Morgana knows that Ziggs back, so she's going to rotate down to try and help. I back off. Try not to show. I know there's a ward there. I saw them place it. But I see Morgana, so I stick around. Because I don't want them to get engaged on in a 3v2. So you can see now, Jarvan's moving to gank top lane because he knows that I'm bot lane. They saw me bot lane, and Renekton was pushed up pretty far. Let's watch this engage. Alright, so Renekton dashes forward, but he stuns a minion. He doesn't stun Yasuo in this situation by accident. But this is a fantastic, he slice and dices to avoid the Jarvan flag and drag. So if this stun lands on Yasuo, and he still gets that slice and dice off, he escapes without dying, essentially. But because he missed that stun, you give Yasuo a chance to land his ult, because Yasuo just hit level 6. That's exactly what happens, and they get first blood on us. So at the same time, Morgana's going to come down, she's going to try and gank us as well, so I'm going to back that up as well, because this is an important team fight. It's a 3v3 team fight, but it's an important team fight. Alright, I'll slow it down for this. So we've got 2 tanky people with Vi and Leona with our AD carry versus 3 relatively squishy champions, but they're all ranged. So the goal here is Vi and Leona need to control space and allow Tristana to use her superior range to basically just deal a lot of damage to them while they can only attack me and Leona. You can see here, the bind comes in and our Tristana is unable to avoid it. So now this completely changes the team fight. Because this bind hits, we can no longer control space. They can collapse onto Tristana. We can't really do much to prevent that. So now it becomes a game of me and Leona just trying to keep Tristana alive until this bind wears off. So I'm going to charge in. Leona's already charged in. You can see how they instantaneously collapse on Tristana. And they just almost immediately chunk her out. So they're all focusing Tristana, but I'm focusing Morgana, Leona's focusing Kalista, and Tristana's focusing Lulu. So 3 different champions all focusing somebody different, while they're all focusing our one champion. So really that's my fault. As a shot caller, I should have called out who we should be focusing. And any one of these 3 options, no matter who I chose to say, hey, let's focus this person, that's way better than all of us focusing somebody different. So, that said, so typically in this type of situation, I say we want to focus with Kalista, hands down. However, we're not level 6 yet. So Kalista can kite very effectively, and I don't have a lot of ability to gap close on her, and Leona doesn't have her ultimate either, so Kalista really can kind of kite us very well, and we can't stop her. Conversely, Morgana is really immobile. Yes, she's level 6 and she's got her ultimate, but she is incredibly immobile, and she doesn't have Zhonya's yet, which is like a key item on Morgana to keep her alive. So in this case, I think Morgana is the right choice to focus. So if we could rewind time and redo this, we'd want to focus Morgana first. But anyway, you can see what happens. So Dyslexia is able to get out just barely. Has to flash. And now you can see, yes, we save our AD carry, but now both me and Leona are not in a lot of danger of dying as well. So now it becomes a question of whether or not we can escape. So Morgana landed her ult, that's why we were stunned there. I flashed to get away. And you can see here, let's watch this. 8 health. I've got 8 health. Morgana flashes, so this is kind of a ballsy play by Morgana, but what she's going to try and do is she's going to try to land the auto attack on me to kill me, and then land the bind onto Tristana to get the double kill. And she's most likely going to die, and I think she knows that, but she's going to say, hey, I'm going to get 2 kills for 1, and that's going to be worth. But Leona flashes, and now she's worried about the engage from Leona. So you can see she lands the auto attack and kills me, then she backs up here to avoid Leona engaging. And then when she throws her bind, it hits a minion instead of hitting Tristana. And that's going to allow us to get the kill on Morgana and trade 1-for-1. So that was a horrible team fight on our part. Didn't focus fire, got hit with the bind, which is like the key thing. We cannot get hit with that bind, but we still are able to come out with a 1-for-1. So yeah, it's good. We ended up with a 1-for-1, but we could have done so much better in that team fight. So I just want to point out, this is really good by Jarvan here, stealing our blue, because he knows that I'm dead, and he just saw Ziggs mid, so he knows he can take this. Speaking of good plays, Morgana's dead, she just respawned, and Lulu and Kalista are low health, so Ziggs does a correct job of pushing up this minion wave, so that all these minions are going to die in this tower and deny Morgana CS, and then he rotates down bot lane. Try and get a kill. I think he shows himself a little bit too early here. He could have waited like a couple more seconds to until the wave pushed up. But you can see like this is exactly what you want to do if you're going to try and dive someone. Is you need somebody back here to block off their escape path. The bad thing about doing this is if you miscalculate where their team is, then you can get collapsed on and you're kind of in a no man's land. But we have pretty good idea of where everyone on their team is. So Ziggs uses his ult, and this wave pushes in, and we can get an easy kill. So Tristan's able to get an easy kill. So in this case, she's taking a lot of tower damage. Really, you can just rocket jump over or whatever, just anything to just get out of tower range. There's no reason why you need to take all these tower shots. And he kind of miscalculates what the tower range is and doesn't get out of tower range, and he winds up getting killed because of it. It's an execute, it's not a kill for the opposing team because Lulu didn't do any damage to him, but if she had just landed one auto attack, then that would have been a kill for her, and that tower dive would have been negated because it would have been a 1-for-1. So you got to be careful and not take those unneeded tower shots. So we're able to get the bot lane tower, and Yasuo uses his teleport top lane, and our Renekton realizes this. Renekton did not use his teleport, so now we have teleport advantage. So now that this bot lane tower is down, the call is to immediately go for dragon, and that's the right call, because we want to try and force a team fight. If they try to engage on us while we're trying to take this dragon, Renekton can TP bot lane and we'll have an advantage. There's no way that Yasuo can respond. So even though Morgana's pushing, she's going to get a little bit of tower damage on here. It's fine. We can take this dragon. This is also really good by our support. She's planning on backing anyway after this dragon, so she just takes all the aggro from the dragon. And that leaves me at full health, so that I can come up and assist Ziggs with this gank here. Alright, so this is fantastic. Ziggs kills a minion wave and then knocks her back into turret range, so she's going to take a couple turret shots for free. And he gets the slow on her. So I come in, and yeah, this is horrible. I missed this Vault Breaker. If I land this Vault Breaker, if I do it correctly, that's a kill pretty much immediately for Ziggs. But I miss it. I use my smite to slow her down, and Ziggs flashes forward and gets the kill. So the consequence of me not landing that Vault Breaker is that Ziggs blows his flash. So that's definitely my fault on that one. So we come over to try and get blue, but yeah, they stole our blue. Alright, so Renekton's been kind of getting camped a lot, so I'm going to try and give him some love because he definitely can win this lane and we don't want Yasuo to snowball. So I come up, but we're not able to get a really good engage on it, so I back off. I'm just going to try and at least get vision control for the team with Skeletal Crab so I can spot Morgana roaming up, or possibly spot Jarvan. Because I really do want to kill Yasuo. He's low health, Renekton could probably 1v1 him right now. But, you know, if you have an unfair fight, it's probably better to have the unfair fight. So this is fantastic. Fantastic engage by Renekton. And Yasuo is really low health. He wants to back. So I come up here, and this is a mistake on my part. Remember how Ziggs, he got behind the tower to basically prevent them from escaping from running backwards? I'm in the wrong spot right here, completely. I need to be up in this bush. So that way I can block off Yasuo's retreat path until this wave pushes in and Renekton can dive him. So you can see what happens when you do this incorrectly. So Renekton comes forward to try and get the kill, and I'm completely out of position. They trade flashes, so Renekton flashes and then Yasuo flashes. Jarvan comes in, and he blows his ult, and basically Yasuo is able to get away. We get Jarvan to flash, which is yay, so we get 2 of their flashes, but there's no reason why Yasuo should have escaped there. That was definitely a misplay on my part. I should have been in this bush, and then we would have gotten that kill. Anyway, moving on. So we push up bot lane, and then we're to blue side jungle, so we can spot rotations, and then we're going to try and knock down mid tower. This is a great play. So now they're forced to decide whether they want their minion wave to push in bot lane, or whether they're going to rotate to stop us taking this tower. You can see how quickly Tristana is able to take down this tower. Alright, so all these minions are about to die. Morgana is moving forward. What do you think is going to happen as soon as these minions die? If you said that she's going to throw out a bind, you're correct. So if you're going to try and take a tower like this, you got to anticipate what the other team is going to do. How are they going to stop you from taking this tower? Well, the easiest way is they just wait for the minions to die, and then they bind you, and then you take a ridiculous amount of tower shots because her bind is so long. And then you have no turret pressure. You have to retreat. So you can see that Tristana nearly dies just from the tower. She has to burn her heal just to stay alive. And then Morgana is able to use her ult, Triss has to rocket jump away, and we're in this horrible situation where we're doing everything we can to try and save Tristana. We do a really good job turning onto Morgana and focus firing her. But then Yasuo comes in. He's going to really mess things up for us. So he comes in, he deals a ton of damage, able to get the kill after Kalista rotates as well. And then Tristana, like, I understand you want to save the support, but you've got like 10 health. And all Lulu had to do was just land 1 glitter lance on you and you're dead. There's nothing you can do to help here. You just back off, don't give them the kill. So they end up getting a double kill off of this. And that's mainly because, yep, Yasuo was still alive, he wasn't dead. If we had killed him, he wouldn't have been in a position to make that play. And then on top of that, really poor play by our Tristana to get caught in another bind, which results in another death. But, so they take this tower. And you can see that both me and Ziggs were here. And yeah, we could have come up here and we could have, you know, stood firm and tried to defend this tower. But if the tower's got no health, you don't want to do that, right? Because they're gonna get the tower, all right? If the tower has virtually no health and they have a numbers advantage, they're gonna get the tower, and then you're so far away from your next tower that they can just easily dive you and kill you. So they'll get the tower and they'll get a kill. So the correct decision is just let the tower die and just make sure they can't push in on this tower and not to give them the kill. That's the most important thing. Do not give them more kills than they, you know, for free essentially. So they're kind of in a little bit of a lull, just to reset. But this is kind of odd right here. So Leona sees him ward. So 1 ward, 2 wards, 3 wards, 4 wards. So he uses all of his wards for Sightstone just in that one bush. So they really wanted that bush warded. Not exactly sure why, but yeah, they really wanted that bush warded. Edwin's continuing to trade in top lane. Definitely like this. So we're trying to get a little bit of dragon control right now, but they're pushing mid lane pretty hard. I come over to try and help Ziggs get blue. That's just so important to help Ziggs get clear. Jarvan's gonna come up here and gank as well. Alright, so Jarvan comes up. And you can see, yeah, in a 1v1 scenario, Renekton beats Yasuo hands down. But, so Yasuo's got 15 health, Jarvan uses ult, and Yasuo's able to escape. And now you can see Kalista's rotating up, Morgana's rotating up, Lulu's rotating up. They're all rotating up to try and get this kill. Kalista even flashes trying to get this kill, but she's not able to get it. So the reason why this happened is Renekton again was pushing up, trading with Yasuo with no ward coverage, which allowed Jarvan to rotate up and almost get the kill on them. So ward coverage would have prevented this completely. I'm going to back up real quick just to show you a kind of an interesting tactic that you can do. So while Renekton is getting collapsed on here, Ziggs gets blue buff, and he runs into a Morgana bind. So Morgana could deal a lot of damage to Ziggs in this time period. So what you want to do to protect your carries is you want to posture. If you're a tank, you want to posture like you're going to engage, because they don't have vision on our whole team. They don't know where everyone is, so you're going to kind of bluff them. So I charge a ball breaker, I make it look like I'm going to attack them until Ziggs get out of the bind, and then I just back off again. So that's how you protect your carries without putting yourself at risk. You posture, you kind of throw out a bluff, but you don't overcommit. So all 5 of them show top lane. So we're like, alright, fine. You want to take top tower? We're going to take your tier 2 tower in bot lane, and we're also going to take your mid tower. So taking either of those towers is a more than fair trade, because mid tower is way more important than a top tower, and a tier 2 tower is way more important than a tier 1 tower. So Yasuo has to blow his teleport to get down here to try and stop the Tristana. And then Tristana rock jumps forward, does his engage on Yasuo. She has to burn her flash, but she does kill him. Now this turret is completely ours. So we get this. We got the mid tier 1, and now we're gonna get bot tier 2 because they overcommitted in top lane. So backing up, I can show you. So if the rest of your team is pushing on one side, and you're like the lone defender on the other side, your whole job is just to delay them, play passive, kill the minions. That's the most important thing. Kill the minions, alright? Because if you kill the minions, they can't stay and attack the tower. So the goal is to kill the minions, not to deal damage to the champions. So they back off to try and back, and we're knowing that Dyslexia is pushing bot tower. So we're going to try and stop their backs. And we're only able to catch Lulu, unfortunately. But anything we can do to try and delay them. And now we've also got our wave pushing in top lane. So we take the bot tier 2 tower, and now they're in a bad spot. Because Leona's pushing up mid, and Tristana can rotate to mid and take mid tier 2 if they go to move and defend this top tower. Conversely, if they defend mid tower, we can easily take top tower. So we're going to get a tower no matter what out of this, because they all backed at the same time, and we took advantage of that. They're making the right play here, because we had 3 people top lane, that they're going to go for a cross-map objective in Dragon. So anytime the team is pushing one objective, you want to try and take a cross-map objective. Just like when they were pushing top lane on us, we took mid and bot tower. When we were pushing top lane, they took dragon. So very good play by both teams on taking cross-map objectives when the other team overcommits to an objective. Alright, I'm going to pause real quick. So, look at this game right now. Even in kills, even in dragons. But look at the gold advantage. We've got 1,000 gold lead, and we've got 2 more towers than them. So how did that happen? We didn't have a team fight. We didn't have some epic, 5-man team fight that allowed us to, ace them to take towers. It was just rotational play. Rotations, ward coverage, moving where the other team isn't. That's what allowed us to get this advantage. We're 16 minutes in, and we've already got double the towers of them. So it just really shows you the strength of the style of play. Now the map is really opened up because they don't have any of their tier 1 towers anymore. So they're going to try and push up in mid lane, and Tristana's just going to keep split pushing, right? Tristana is quite large right now, 3 and 2. Already got her Infinity Edge. So she can just keep pushing this wave, and they're going to have to constantly respond to that. So we're going to ward up here so that way we can continue to push and not have to worry about them collapsing on us, and that's going to allow us to rotate between mid tower and bot lane, and also it's going to allow us to rotate to dragon when it spawns as well. So they try to collapse on Tristana, but because we have such good ward coverage, they've got no chance at actually killing him. Alright, so Renekton's up here, and he's continuing to push. So, when Tristana was pushing bot lane, that was great, because she had ward coverage, right? We have all this vision in their jungle. There's no way that they can collapse on her. And she's got, rocket jump, she's got her ult, which can disengage. She's got all sorts of escapes, but she's not going to push up unless she's got this ward coverage. Renekton, meanwhile, is pushed up just as far, and all he's got is this one ward. So he gets easily collapsed on. So if you're going to push up this far, you have to have a dominant ward presence in their jungle. Or you have to know exactly where they are. You have to have vision on all of their team. And as soon as you lose that vision, as soon as they back off, you have to back off as well. So Ziggs nearly dies because Renekton pushed out too far, but I'm able to come in and save him. And then Morgana Zhonya's, but we're able to get the kill. So we actually get something out of it, we get a kill out of it, but there's no reason why you need to push this lane this far up, especially when you don't have the tower at your back without having ward coverage. So Tristana's continuing to push. This is very good because, again, ward coverage, no chance that they can gank us. So they start to show, and you can see they instantaneously back off. That's exactly what you want to do. You push up the wave, and then when they start to show pressure, you just back off and then try and go for a different objective. And as you retreat, if you can steal a jungle camp, you want to steal a jungle camp as well. That's exactly what you want to do, because now you're denying their jungler farm. So Dragon's now 2 minutes away, and Baron's about to spawn. So Baron to play, something we're definitely going to be looking forward to. Alright, so Renekton again. He's pushing again without ward coverage. Not a smart play. But we've got vision on them, so he's alright. Ziggs gets caught, but we're able to escape. We're able to get him out just by showing pressure with Leona and Vi. And now we don't have vision on them. So at this point right now, Renekton needs to get the heck out of there. So he tries. He does a little bit of a better job this time, but this is just way too obvious. Him just going right here to try and back. So again, he gets caught out. So anytime you cross the river, you need to make sure you have vision on the enemy team. So, alright. That kill was huge as far as the team. Because Dragon's about to spawn in 35 seconds. And Renekton's going to now be down for 33 seconds. So we cannot fight Dragon now because of that death. The only way that we can fight Dragon is if we get a pick on our own. So I make the call to collapse on Morgana, Jarvan, and Yasuo and try to pick one of them off. So that way we can have some chance at contesting this Dragon. So we're searching for them. We find Morgana, rush in on her. I ult in. Even though she's Zhonya's, we're going to be able to get this kill. So that was perfect. That was a perfect engage. We get the one kill. That's all we wanted. We just wanted one kill. So that way we can still fight this Dragon. And we're still all pretty much full health. So now we can rotate to this Dragon. If they try to contest it, it's a 4v4, which I think we can win. And we've got Ziggs zoning them. So if they try to push in here without vision, they're going to get punished really, really hard the entire way. And also we see that Yasuo is top lane, so that if they try to contest, it's actually a 4v3. So they did the right thing by not trying to contest that. And Renekton does a very good job of, as soon as he spawns, he goes top lane, because Yasuo is split pushing. Yasuo is trying to get that cross map objective, because we're taking Dragon. So, good play. So you can see, as we back out, we're going to take their camps. Just over and over again, we're just going to take their jungle camps, we're going to deny their farm, prevent them from these little advantages. Because now we've got a 2k gold lead. When we just had a 1k gold lead about 8-9 minutes ago. So we get spotted by a war and we're going to get collapsed on right away. So we immediately back off, we know that we can't fight this. And this whole time Tristana's pushing, which is great. But we're able to escape, we don't do anything stupid. And yet again, Yasuo's got to burn teleport because this Tristana keeps split pushing. So now we've got the teleport advantage again. Granted, Dragon is down, but teleport advantages are always something you try to exploit. So Tristana hides in the bush, jumps on Yasuo. This is really good. Morgana moves to assist, but we're quicker, so we're able to get the kill on Yasuo, and then we're also able to get the kill onto Morgana. So fantastic play by our team, just by out-rotating them and having superior ward coverage in their jungle. So that's going to allow us to get mid tower pretty easily, this tier 2 mid tower. So now we can, as soon as we take mid tower, the call is to rotate to top lane. So we're going to ward up this top lane jungle. And that's going to allow us to pressure in top lane. and we can watch any ganks. If they push really hard up here, we've got this wave pushing mid lane. We can rotate mid and try and take mid. So you can see right now Tristana's pushing up mid. And Tristana's so fed at this point that no one person on their team can stop her. So they're going to have to send 2 to mid lane to stop her. Which is going to leave us with an advantage here in top lane. So they send down Lulu and Jarvan to stop her, which leaves just Kalista and Morgana. You can see we're just continuing to punish them. And then land the ult, so she dies. And as soon as Morgana dies, we can push this tower and get this top tower. There's not much they can really do to stop it. So as soon as we get that tower, Renekton's going to use his teleport to stop the split push on Yasuo. So this is great by Renekton. He keeps running forward to stop Yasuo from backing. He just delays Yasuo this entire time. Look at how he's just delaying the back. So you can see that the reason why we want to do this is right now we've got a numbers advantage. Right? Morgana's down. So it's a 5v4. When Renekton backs, if Yasuo is able to back, it's now a 4v4 at their base, which they can defend. But because Renekton prevents the back, it's a 4v3 in their base, and they can't fight it. So we're able to get mid tower and mid inhibitor because Renekton does this play. So this is a really good job by Renekton at delaying this back. And then as soon as Morgana comes up again, we back out. So very important that also that when you're trying to get these objectives, especially in their base, you're looking at death timers to make sure that as soon as they respawn, you leave. Alright, so yet again, Tristana gets caught with another bind. So Morgana is 100% on binds against Tristana in this game. And Tristana nearly dies again because of a Morgana bind. But we're able to come back up, get her out, and also lay down some CC so that way they can't chase us. So Dragon's up in 90 seconds, so we're going to get Scuttle Crab. We've already got a little bit of vision. And perfect setup, so now we can back, we can spend all that gold that we got from getting those towers, and then we can contest this dragon. Let's see if we reset. The next goal is going to be dragon. This is also very good by Ziggs to get this blue buff right before Dragon spawns. So that we've got that extra mana so he can continue to zone them. There's not much they can do. So we're going to zone them away from Baron Pit. And Yasuo is making the same mistake that Renekton made. He's pushing up really far without ward coverage. He's trying to get this tier 2 tower, but he's just so far out of position. You can see that we can just kite them back, there's not much they can do. And now Yasuo is in this horrible position where he's going to have to try and run and try and get away. So, this is kind of an interesting moment in the game. So, Tristana's taking Dragon. They've got vision of this, and Jarvan goes down to try and stop her. But Morgana goes to assist Yasuo, and then Lulu and Kalista are kind of in this no man's land where they don't really know what to do. And they wind up going towards the dragon. Even though the dragon's almost dead, they're going to try and get this kill onto Tristana. You can see that Renekton's wrapping around here to get his CC off. So we get the dragon, and then get the stun, and it's a double kill for us. So we get this double kill, and they all try to collapse on Tristana, and she just winds up getting out really easily. So now it's a 5v3. So instantaneously, immediately, right? At this point in the game, if you're in a 5v3 scenario, you want to go for Baron. Death timers aren't long enough that you're going to be able to win the game at this point, especially since the wave's not fully there yet. But we can get Baron really, really easily in that time period, and there's no way that they can contest it. You can see, like, we don't even bother. They've got Scuttle Crab Control, they've got a ward there. Yeah, we don't care. There's no way that they can contest it. If they try to steal it, it would just wind up being another kill for us. Alright, so call is everyone back, get items, and then we're going to push. So we get home guarded up, and we're going to try and push multiple objectives. Again, we've got a very fed Tristana, we've got strong solo laners, we want to try and push multiple objectives and siege as many towers as possible. So they're grouping up mid, so we've got Ziggs for wave clear, and I'm here just to basically be his escape. If he gets in a lot of trouble, I can just show pressure and keep him alive. And then we've got Tristana running with Leona, so Tristana's the wave clear, and he can push really, really fast. And then Leona is for zone control. So we catch out Morgana, and we're going to go in on her. It's a great ult by Ziggs. Leona rotates down. I would have liked to have seen actually Tristana rotate with her. I think that we actually could have got a lot of kills if Tristana moved down with us. But at least Leona rotates down. So I'm gonna slow this down a little bit. Ziggs flashes forward, gets a knock up on them. You can see I'm gonna Vault Breaker forward, and immediately I'm gonna go in on Callista. So Leona sees that I'm going in on Callista, so she ults Morgana. So we get the double CC, which allows us to get a double kill. And also nearly kill Lulu. So Tristana's able to get this tower at the same time. And then we just move up to assist with Tristana. And we're able to just wait the full rhythm. So that's pretty much the game. So I'm going to go over just real quick. I'm just going to pause before the game ends. Go over, goods and bads for everybody. So I'm going to start with bad for each person first because I like to end on a good note, try to end positively. So for top lane, what you did badly was ward coverage and map awareness. So whenever you push past the river, you open yourself up to ganks, especially if your tier 1 is down. So if your tower is down here and you're pushing past this river, you're just asking to get ganked. So you need to have wards up or you need to ask for help, right? Because I've got a sight stone, Leona's got a sight stone. We can help you ward if you're not able to. Like if you don't have inventory space or whatnot, you just need to ask. Alternatively, if we have vision on everyone on their team, like if they're killing all of our minions mid lane or they're all pushing mid, you can split push. But as soon as we lose vision of them, you have to back off. You immediately have to back off. Not even killing one more creep. Just immediately back off as soon as we lose vision. And you would have had quite a few less deaths if you had done that. However, what you did really good is when you got into these bad situations, you did an excellent job at avoiding skill shots and causing them to burn so much time and so much resources trying to kill you. I mean, they were blowing flashes, ultimates, just wasting huge amounts of time, and that really opened up the map for everyone else. So yeah, you put yourself in bad positions, but you did a really good job when you were in those bad positions trying to get out of them. For me, as the jungler, My early game shot calling was and communication during the ganks was really bad. Um, and then yeah, I made a pretty big mistake with that first gank in bot lane where we were 3v3 by not communicating well. And then I made that one mistake when I was top lane. I didn't cut off that escape route for Yasuo, so that was definitely really bad for me. So I need to work on just early game shot calling and doing a better job with our dives. For my good though, I felt like the longer the game progressed, the better my shot calling got. And any time I ganked, I made sure that I got the kills on the carries. So you can see, like here, I'm 1-1 and 6, Leona's 0-1 and 8, and all the kills are on Ziggs and Tristana, 6-2 and 1 and 8-0-4. I mean, that's exactly what you want. All that gold is on our carries right now. I don't need the gold. I'm playing a tank. So that's exactly what we want. Get all the kills on the carries. Okay, so for Ziggs, he played really well this game. It's kind of difficult to find what he did wrong. I think that if Ziggs had a higher skill shot accuracy, he would have gotten a lot more kills. He would have gotten at least 10 kills, or possibly more. So, yeah, you played really well, but just those slight changes, just working on your skill shot accuracy, you would have even snowballed even harder in this game. For what you did really well is the rotations you did were fantastic, and the use of your ult, that ult is just a game changer on Ziggs, and you use it really well every single time. For our ADC, yeah, again, ADC had a fantastic game, 6-2 and 1. But the reason why you died twice is because you couldn't avoid skill shots. Like, literally, if you could avoid a Morgana bind, you would not have died a single time in that game. And Morgana got 100% of her binds on you. And then, if you remember back from one of our previous games, it's actually Random Ramblings number 4, in that game too, Morgana had a near 100% hit rate on you with your binds. So one of the big holes, probably like the only hole that I see in your game, is you're not good at avoiding skill shots. So I think if you work on that, your game is gonna go way even better. Your kill to death ratio is gonna skyrocket if you can just avoid skill shots more. But what you did really well is, yeah, I mean, look at your CS advantage. You've got 90 CS on their ADC at the end of the game. You freaking split pushed the whole game and took a ton of towers. Just fantastic. And then for our support, also really difficult to complain. I mean, Leona had a fantastic game. I mean, I would say that both me as a jungler and Leona as support, we need to work a little bit better at communicating like what our strategy is for warding. Because I think that a lot of times we overward in certain areas and we're lacking wards in other areas, and that we can work a little bit harder at getting our wards deeper earlier into the game. Like when we were taking this top tower and Tristana was pushing mid, if we got a ward back in here, in this area, we could have spotted any rotations they wanted and then just immediately dove them. But I mean, that's just like minor complaints. What you did very well is you constantly had the bot side of the jungle lit up with wards. And you just had a really strong presence in team fights. Ults were great, engages were great, just really well done overall. So, for the team, alright, great game, won the game, right? But what we did poorly was, yes, we had great ward presence, but we did absolutely nothing to deny their ward coverage. I mean, yes, we have sweepers. We both have, both me and Leona had upgraded sweepers, but we didn't buy enough pinks to deny their ward coverage. We didn't use our sweepers enough. I could have used smite on the raptors more often, and that's actually something that, you know, like if you don't need to take raptors, I understand like ADC and mid want to get gold. But try to avoid taking raptors, because I'm going to try and smite raptors as often as I can so I can clear out that ward coverage. So yeah, we still need to really work on denying their ward coverage, because even in the late game, look at all these wards they have, and that was pretty consistent throughout the whole game. But obviously, what we did great in this game was rotations. I mean, didn't have a single 5v5 team fight, and yet kills 16-6. Had double their towers, were able to take dragons really effectively. Just a fantastic job rotating, constantly pushing multiple objectives. So yeah, great game overall. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you guys get to see the effectiveness of split pushing and rotations. And this is Randomonium signing off.